The Supreme Court will now decide whether Donald Trump may claim immunity in special counsel Jack Smith's election subversion case. Arguments are set to begin on April 22nd. It's frankly just what Trump wanted, saying this on Truth Social tonight, quote, legal scholars are extremely thankful for the Supreme Court's decision today. I want to bring in Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen. He's also a principal at Crisis X, host of podcasts Mea Culpa and Political Beatdown, and of course, the New York Times best-selling author of Revenge, How Donald Trump Weaponized the United States Department of Justice Against His Critics. Michael, thank you so much for being here today. I have to get your reaction initially to this announcement from SCOTUS. He thinks it's a win. Many believe it, in fact, is for him just having the delay. Do you think Trump is nervous at all, though, about why he wanted this kick down the road?
Yeah, he's nervous about everything, and he has the right to feel so. Think about it. Here in New York, that's just one of the many legal issues that's currently confronting the former president. I think we can't ignore the fact that our Attorney General, our unsinkable Attorney General, Tish James here, just achieved a fantastic result in repatriating more than $500 million back to the great state of New York. And more importantly, for thanking me for being a catalyst of bringing this case to the courtroom. So he has a lot of reasons to be nervous right now, and that's just one of them. Let's not forget March 25th. We're starting now the Manhattan District Attorney case, which is not civil, but criminal. So, yeah, he may delay one, but the other ones are still moving forward.
I want to get back to immunity in just 1 second, but you mentioned this case Letitia James was overseeing, and Trump has now admitted that he does not have the cash to pay this $454 million civil fraud judgment. It all goes really at the core of whether he truly is rich and successful and as rich as he says. Do you think that he is embarrassed by any of this, or is this part of, savvy business dealings?
Well, of course he's embarrassed because his entire net worth, the constant reiteration that I'm worth at least $10 billion, maybe even more, obviously goes to his id, his ego, his super ego, and that's now super deflated because it's just not true. They had to acknowledge that they don't have it. It wasn't that long ago that he stood on the stand and he told everybody that he was worth many, many, many billions of dollars and that he has very low debt to value ratio, and that he was very, very cash rich. Well, we know that that's just yet another lie that was told by Trump. Who's he going to do? What's he going to call J.G. Wentworth and say, I need cash now? How is he going to raise more than this $500 million that he owes in order to be able to file an appeal?
Well, the judge granted him the ability to apply for loans again from New York banks, but you make a good point. Can he find a lender who wants to do business with him?
Well, that's something that everybody needs to keep an eye out for. Where is he going to get this money? Lenders will not give it to him. Number one, there's outstanding mortgages on these assets. They don't want to have to be in a position to take the assets and then start to sell them in order to recoup their money. It's a big job, especially in light of the market right now. But more importantly, what we need to really watch out is where the money's going to come from. Is it going to come from Saudi Arabia? Is it going to come somehow back channel from Putin or some other autocratic alleged friend of Donald Trump? That's the most important thing, because what it does is it jeopardizes America's national security.
Well, you can go all the way back, frankly, to the beginning of his presidential term when there were questions about emoluments, questions about his tax returns, a source of income. This is really coming full circle in a way, the accusations. But let's get back to this immunity issue, because it's a really big one today. I remember not too long ago, people would say they were going to be a part of his administration because they wanted to be the so-called adult in the room. If that happens again, if he is the president again, I'm not sure who that would be. But on the question of immunity, Michael, what do you think a second Trump term will look like if he has absolute immunity?
It's going to look exactly like what we see takes place in Russia with Vladimir Putin, or North Korea with Kim Jong-un, or in China with Xi Jinping. It's going to be exactly the same thing. The America's democracy that we have, that we have grown to love, and the beacon of the world as as far as democracy is concerned, will be lost because, again, I don't want this to come off sounding hyperbolic from Michael Cohen, right? Former personal attorney to the president. These are the words of Donald Trump himself, that on day one, he wants to rewrite the Constitution. On day one, he wants to destroy the tripartite system of government to get rid of the power of the legislative branch and the judiciary and confer all power onto the executive branch, meaning himself. Will he pardon himself? Absolutely he will. And who's going to be there to stop him? The sycophants that are going to sign some sort of pledge or loyalty oath that he's going to require of everyone that's going to work in any sort of position in his administration? This is not the America that we all grew up with. I can assure you on that.
Well, that's the big question, right? We were talking about absolute immunity. It disrupts the very notion of our checks and balances. It turns us back into, well, exactly what I thought the Founding Fathers did not want in terms of a monarchy, and that goes for anyone who's in the White House. Michael Cohen, thank you so much.
Really good to see you, Laura.
If it makes you feel any better, I have already put evac on alert. He's ready to go if it comes to that. General, I can assure you.
Hey, General, let me into the war room to see you, so I had to hack my way onto this frequency.
This better be critical, Wheelie.
Sir, come on, when is it not, please? Okay, couple of things. I'm running low on the dough. I was thinking about taking a couple of months sick leave, maybe starting today. And, oh yeah, I intercepted a transmission from Megatron.
Then send it through.
Yes, sir, right away, sir. And so I'll assume that we're going on the other stuff.
This is your last warning, insects. Relinquish what remains of the Allspark.
So who's the insect? You? What? Who's the insect?
Protect you. They were defeated on our world, and we will defeat them here.
Megatron.
This was just a diversion. Security, please bring up. Ravage, he's already inside. Deeds! Give me an update on that reserve. Boss readiness. What was his name? What was it?
Evac, sir.
Right, evac.
She's right in front.
We are facing a heavy sustained attack. They appear to be after the Allspark. General! General!